Hello, my name's Anusha. If you're new here, I'm a musician, a singer-songwriter, as if they aren't the same things, and a vlogger now, apparently. I should be used to doing this, but whatever, we're here. Just to recap my last vlog, I cried. I was very sad. 2020 was not my best year. I released a new song called Loser, which is the remix of my song Loser. Loser's dead now, I'm done with it. And yeah, we're just learning how life works. I'm learning how to be an adult. My rent has gone up £300. Well, a lot's happened in the past month and a bit, but I am coming here to confess something to you all. Do you all remember when I said I would never apply for funding? I said I'm not going to apply for funding because it's too long. It's a lot of time that goes into making a funding application, and I just don't have it. You know, especially because I run on Crypt Time. If you don't know what that is, Google it. And yeah, I just thought, you know what, there are other avenues to make money and to fund projects and whatever. Well, apparently the funding gods heard me and they said, you dumb bitch, here is money. I have money. I have money. Yay. All right, so let me back up a little bit. So I have money. I received funding, over £1,000 funding, to fund one of my music projects. First off, I just want to thank Youth Music for funding my project, for giving me the chance to be a creator in 2023. Like, what happens next doesn't even matter, because the fact that in 2023 I get to be an artist in the way that you should, in my opinion, be an artist, that's amazing. You know, that is absolutely just, I don't have the words. So thank you for funding my project. And it was quite strange because this was the first time I had ever got a yes. This is the first time I applied. This is the first time that I went for something big. Like, I've applied for small funding things before, but like I've never applied for anything that is like nationally known. So this was news to me. Okay. And I do have opinions that I will get into another time when the spotlight isn't really on me, about funding applications and like putting worth on your art. It's hard, and I think especially when you're an artist like myself who doesn't have a huge social footprint. I don't have a huge musical footprint either, and that is due to lack of funds and not having the money to have a musical footprint. How do I convince an institution of people that, hey, I'm really good at what I do, please fund me? I remember when I went to insert university here, you're terrible, I cannot stand you. And the guy rightly said, I will give him that you're never going to get funding because you don't have a musical footprint. And in a way, and I hate that I'm admitting this on camera, my last two singles, I love them, but they were just so people can hear me sing and hear what I can do. They weren't like, oh, I put huge labor of love. I did obviously put a lot of labor into it, but I was just trying to survive and just trying to convince people, hey, look what I can do. So yeah, I do wonder, like, is there a way in the future, can we fund people to get started? Can we fund people who do not have the physical capabilities to do a funding application? Because mind you, this technically took me a year to do. Like, I started this application in February, then I left it, then I came back, I thought, oh, I'll give it another try, and then I left it, then I started vlogging on YouTube for some reason, then I left it, and then I applied and I got it. But that's a year. That's a long time. We talk about time and like the pandemic, you know, the pandemic has decimated time. Like, we talk about like how we've lost 2 to 3 years of our lives due to this pandemic, and we're gonna lose more because we can't function in the way that we did, and the world refuses to move on and find new ways to fund art. Rant over. I've always known that my art was worthy of being funded. Like, I've always known. I know that I'm smart, you know? I know that I deserve money. So the fact that I got money was amazing. That being said, as much as this is a start for me, I also want this to be a start for you. With the pandemic and COVID, I know in 2023, I think a CD Baby article came out last week about what's going to be new in 2023 and their predictions. And one of the predictions was like, well, streaming's dead. You know, no one wants to be online anymore. Everyone wants to be in person. But with 6 million people dead in China and what the world implications of that what that means for China, and what does that mean for us? What does that mean for moving on? Do you know what I mean? Like, that kind of disproves everyone's point. I completely disagree with that. I don't think streaming's dead, but I think there is a consensus that people think streaming's dead, or that anything that is not in person is not worthy of being, you know, paid attention to. But I'm going to create a project that is purely online. I've mentioned a couple of times in these vlogs that COVID has lessened the resources for everybody, and we all are fighting for crumbs. It's unfair, and this is not how the music industry should be. We should all be able to access resources and be able to share our art without any trouble. So I'm going to do it in 2 ways. First, did you know that I had a Discord? So with the Passion Project, which I have mentioned before, but I'll say it again, it's an organization that promotes inclusiveness, that basically tries to give resources to marginalized artists. And marginalized artists at the moment are people who are immunocompromised and who cannot perform in person due to COVID-19. So I'm going to promote my Discord more. I'm going to use my Discord more, and I'm going to share as many resources as I can. Like, that is my goal for 2023, is that I just want people to be able to be fulfilled as an artist without putting themselves at risk. Like, I don't want to hear how someone's going on tour but they've had to cancel like 3 dates because they've caught COVID, or how they've caught COVID and they can't sing anymore. Insert reasoning here. So yeah, that is my first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to promote my Discord. And the second thing I'm going to do is I am going to hire you to be part of my project. I'm going to redistribute my wealth. The money that I have. I'm not wealthy. Let's get one thing straight here. But yeah, I'm going to redistribute this money. Yes, I could create this by myself. I could create a whole project, musical project, that is just purely me, and I'm just going to do this by myself, and here you go, Anusha Productions. But I know for a fact if one of my friends or someone that I loved was doing a project like this, like, I'd want to be a part of it. So there's beauty in collaboration. There's beauty in getting people involved, and I want to get you guys involved. All right, enough of that fluff. Let me describe the project to you so you can see if you want to be a part of it or not. The project is called Burden, and if you couldn't tell about the content on this channel, it is about disabled people feeling burdened. And it can be about the pandemic, but I'm leaving the door wide open. You can be about anything. My motivations for this project were, wow, a lot of disabled people in this pandemic are being treated like burdens. They're being treated like scum, and no one's really reckoning with it. Like, the same people are reckoning with it, but there's not a collective effort by people to counteract this, like, what's happening. You know, they're just kind of leaving disabled people to the wayside, and it's just like, well, you'll deal with it. No, I've not really had, in my personal experience, I've not really had anyone give me any good advice. Like, I'm saying, oh, I feel distant from people that I used to adore and who were my bestest friends, considered like siblings or relatives, and people are like, well, that's life. So that was the inspiration for the project, is how do we contend with that? What do I want to change? What do I see in the future? What have I experienced? And like hindsight's 2020, how can I stop this from happening again? How can we stop this from happening again? Not just me. I want to pay you for your art, physical art. I'm going to create a small zine, which is about A5, full of people's stories and imaginations. We're going to collate it all. We're going to distribute it and sell it. And yeah, it will be a piece of art that we can remember. There are billions of zines out there, but I kind of wanted to make one specifically about this, about the feeling of being a burden. And also, I want your heart to be remembered, especially with physical media, because of the way that social media platforms are proving to be fickle. That is what I'm going to do. That is what this project's going to be. I'm going to create a zine and distribute it out. There's going to be other parts as well. That's just one part of the project, but I really want to create with you all, because honestly, I wouldn't be in a position that I'm in if it wasn't for your support. Right now, I'm editing this video and I forgot to mention how to apply. If you want to apply and you are a physical media artist, so that's like drawing, writing, anything that can be put on paper, just email me at anushaldnmusic@gmail.com. So that's ANUSHALDNmusic@gmail.com. That's the best way to reach me, because I'm very frequent on emails. You can also just message me on Instagram at AnushaLDN. There are very few Anushas in England, so when you find one, you'll find me. Yeah, hopefully we can connect. We can make the Burden Project together. I feel like 2023 is going to be a good year. 2023 is going to be a year for the disabled. 2023 for Crip time. I don't know, but 2023 is going to be the year that we release the Burden Project. Let's go with that, okay? So thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with me to the end and contending with all my rambling. And yeah, hopefully we can do this. We can do this. It's going to be a sick project. I am so fucking excited. Thank you, Youth Music Fund, for funding this project, and hopefully you'll see more of me soon.